Hello and welcome to Full Tech Ahead. I'm your host, Amanda Razani, and I'm excited to be here today with Vijay Marolia. He is the Chief Investment Officer of Regal Point Capital. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. And how are you, Amanda?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm excited to have you on the show. Can you share a little bit about your company, Regal Point Capital?
Sure. We are an investment manager, and we basically concentrate on alternative investments, mostly private equity and hedge funds. But what we're most excited about is the media side, and that's through Dharma Investing, and that's why we're writing the children's books, while we're trying to spread the word on financial literacy, and while we're doing the lecture series. And our next one is going to be about Bitcoin, stablecoin, blockchain, and the Genius Act, and the genius that is the blockchain technology.
Wow. So you're writing books. You're going to write a children's book on this topic?
Well, we've already written children's books, but we're going to continue to write more. The first one was, well, may I show you? Let's see. Hold on one second.
So for our audience listening in, you may not be able to see the book, but I can tell you the title. Baby's First Business Book. Oh, that's cute. So the little animal.
It's basically an alphabetical guide. It's basically an alphabetical guide to business, because here's the thing. I think you and I agree, Amanda, that entrepreneurship can really solve a lot of problems. It's one of the happiest ways to live. And business is not as complicated as the business schools that charge you money would like you to believe. All businesses are the same. There's R, or revenue. There's an E, an expense. And if you do the business right, there's a P, that's your profit. So it's an alphabetical guide. So how about this, Amanda, right? So let's look at A real quick. A is for asset. Assets are good because they have value. Business Baby wants more assets. Baby's First Business Book. Babies don't start businesses, but the point is, even a baby can understand a business.
That is so cool. Start early and teach them young. So I love that. But I am so glad that I have you on the show, because I was covering Bitcoin when it first came out many years ago. I was covering it. I was writing articles about it and playing all the little games to collect Bitcoin drips of Bitcoin into the wallet. And, we were collecting, investing in Bitcoin. But I feel that over the last few years, the enthusiasm for cryptocurrency in general has kind of dropped. It has even, for myself, I haven't really been investing in crypto anymore. Can you explain, is crypto really a legitimate currency these days? And where is it at right now?
Well, I love the phrase that you use, and specifically the term legitimate, because it's officially legitimate. The Genius Act has already been signed in. So when you say it hasn't been popular, it's never been more popular. So I respectfully disagree with you. It's at all-time highs. Adoption is at all-time highs. There are more ETFs taking in billions and billions of dollars. That's never happened before. So it has never been as popular as it is today. The value has never been as high as it is today. Ether is over $4,000, maybe over 4,500. Bitcoin is at 121,000. So yeah, I respectfully disagree. I think that we're just at the tip of the iceberg, and it's never been more popular, and it's still just the beginning.
So how can a normal person, like say myself, how can we use our cryptocurrency at the moment, though? It doesn't seem like it's very easy to just go out and use any cryptocurrency to buy things.
Well, how about this? How do you use your home equity? Sometimes using it is just holding on to it. So first of all, it depends. If you want to spend Bitcoin, then I suggest that you're missing the point, and you're going to lose money and become frustrated. It is called a cryptocurrency, but it's still a commodity. It's a digital commodity, and it's a store of value. People are all affected negatively by inflation if you're a consumer, and until and unless you own assets, inflation won't help you. If you own assets that are productive, inflation makes you rich, okay? And so that's, again, back to financial literacy. Inflation is not going away. But if you understand how it works, and it's not hard, the media wants you to think it's hard. It's not hard. Okay. The more money that's chasing the same amount of goods and services, prices have to go up. Simple as that. So if you keep printing money, artificially lower interest rates, it's the same thing. Money is also credit. So if you lower rates and banks lend more, you're still inflating technically the money supply. And eventually that bubble has to pop, right? That's the reason why blockchain technology is so important, and why every single day and every single year, more and more people, even people that poo-pooed on it, like Jamie Dimon at JP Morgan, he poo-pooed on it. They're selling it now. Larry Fink at BlackRock, world's largest asset manager. If you can't beat them, join them. You can't beat blockchain technology. That is, I think, part of the attraction.
Definitely. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because on the currency side, okay, so I understand what you're saying is it's a great investment. So you believe fully in it being a value.
I didn't say that. I just said, well, first of all, I want to make sure my attorneys are going to kick my butt if I let you get away with that. I'm not saying that it's a great investment. I'm not here to give any investment advice. I'm saying that blockchain is here to stay. I'm saying in full disclosure that I own it. I'm saying that I'm not going to sell it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. But on the blockchain side, yes, I would agree with you. There are some excellent technology use cases for blockchain. I know we've talked a lot about smart contracts. Can you share some use cases and how those are being implemented in real world industries?
I think it's a great question, Amanda. I'm so glad you brought that up, because smart contracts are the future. That's something that both of you and I both can agree on, because all assets, whether they are real, like real estate, or your automobile, personal property, whether they're tangible or intangible, like your intellectual property, like your equity in your business, like your royalty stream, anything that can produce a stream of cash flows is going to get tokenized in the future. And all that means is that it's going to create more liquidity for that asset class. It's going to create more opportunity for people that were once shut out, or at least they felt like they were shut out. And again, part of that comes back to financial literacy. But tokenization basically means you basically create a digital asset that will represent ownership, just like the paper stock certificate will represent ownership, right? It's basically just the evolution of finance. I think one of the most important ways to understand blockchain technology is to understand the technology that it's going to soon replace. What is that? It's called double entry accounting. So we're talking about 400 or 500 years old. The Medici family created double entry accounting. It's not a coincidence that they became one of the most powerful, one of the most successful families. Game changer. I think this is a replay of that several hundred years later.
Okay, interesting. So let's talk about some of the other currencies, because I've mentioned Bitcoin a lot, because of course that was the first one that everybody focused on. But there are tons of cryptocurrencies these days. Some are definitely more legitimate than others. I think we can agree to that. Can you talk about the ones that are most prominent, most likely to move forward as being valuable and accepted by the masses, like maybe Ethereum for one?
Well, I appreciate what you just said, because you're right on both regards. There are so many, and when you have so many of anything, there's going to be some, let's call it bad apples, right? Any apple farm, there's going to be some bad apples, but it doesn't mean that all of them are bad. So just like there are good teachers, bad teachers, good doctors, bad doctors, good money managers, terrible money managers, there's going to be some terrible. How about this? True story. I was looking at Coinbase on basically it's a page where they show the spot prices. And I was looking at what is gaining in what we call relative strength. And it was called Fartcoin. This is a true story, y'all. So yeah, people, anytime something is new, somebody's going to get a little carried away with it. Doesn't mean we all need to follow them off that cliff. But Ether is, I think, me personally and me professionally, we think it's going to be probably the biggest beneficiary from the new Genius Act legislation, because it's going to allow the easiest least friction process to tokenize, to use smart contracts. Just say lawyers cost not just money, they cost time. And I think you and I and any entrepreneur out there knows time is way more valuable than money. And that is, again, one of the most important features of this blockchain revolution.
Do you think so? I know one thing that was appealing to people when cryptocurrencies first came out is that the government wasn't involved with it. Is it hurting or harming cryptocurrency in general now that the government is getting so involved?
So that's a wonderful question. And this is where we get into less of the monetary economic aspects and more of the sentiment, the philosophical and even psychological aspects of it. Because the Bitcoin purists are hating this. But I'm not a Bitcoin purist. I'm a fiduciary. I'm responsible for people's money. So in that regard, government giving it a blessing is fantastic, because all prices are based on what? Supply and demand. So if we look at Bitcoin, it's very simple. The supply is limited at 21 million. That's it. What's going to happen to demand? Well, as more people like yourself are doing the good work of spreading the message, that's going to help increase demand. If government writes legislation that allows for a free-for-all, that's going to explode demand. Then you also have demographics that's steady and then step up demand. Why is it steady and step up? Because each generation is less scared about technology or the new technology than the previous. That's why grandchildren have to fix grandparents, fill in the blank.
Do you have any advice as far as, okay, here are a couple of problems that I've encountered when I was collecting different cryptocurrencies. I lost my giant wallet code and I couldn't find it. And that's a problem, because if you don't have that huge code to get into your wallet, you pretty much can't get into your cryptocurrency anymore. Do you have any advice for that other than just being really careful and not losing that password? But also, do you have any advice on best cryptocurrency wallets to use? Because there are several out there, like MetaMask and the different ones. So can you share your advice?
Sure. So anything that's hard for me, I outsource. That's helped me tremendously in life. And so I use custodians just like I use custodians for other assets. I use insurance policies to protect all my assets. So Coinbase is the most popular. Robinhood is also very popular. Fidelity has always been popular. All three of those allow you to do it. So when you try to get, it's kind of like when you realize that organic food is good for you, that doesn't mean you go start an organic farm, right? So like, how about baby steps, right? Again, baby's first book on Amazon, Dr. Funkel.
Got it. All right. Well, where do you see the future of cryptocurrency merging with fintech? Can you share your ideas for, say 5 years from now?
When was it not merged? The way I understand fintech is that it's finance technology. So I think that blockchain is just an example of it, perhaps the best example of it. So I think that it continues. I think that it grows. I think that adoption increases. I think prices go up in the long term. I think volatility is here to stay. And I think that everybody needs to learn more about it. And that's why I really thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely. Was there anything else you can share, or any key takeaway you can leave our audience with today?
I think I just did. Nothing more.
All right, great. Well, for those of you who can't see our video and you're listening to the audio podcast, can you share the name of that book again for the audience?
Sure. It's Baby's First Business Book by Dr. Funkel, Funcle, Fun Uncle, because I'm not a parent yet, but I love my nieces and nephews. And I knew that I wanted to leave something that will be around when I'm gone. And if there's something that I know There's something that I understand. It's money, it's business, it's investing. And that's why I'm so excited about blockchain and the future of fintech.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Amanda, for having me. God bless you. Good luck and good night.
And thank you to our audience. Stay tuned. There's more cool podcasts like this in the future.